Good morning, guys. Good morning, good morning. Sorry, I'm a little behind than what I wanted to be time-wise, but I was working on, I'm doing a Grateful Challenge for November. I just posted a video about it, and we do this in my Facebook group, every November. And so I posted the first video. We're doing journal prompts this year. We'll probably still have just regular posts in the Facebook group, but we're doing journal prompts. And so I did the first video and posted that before I came on. How is everybody? Today, I do have You Are a Badass ready. I have some notes ready. I don't know who all is here, who has the book, or who all is wanting to learn more or discuss more. Check in, guys. Say hi. Let me know you're here. The baby kitty trying to come up. Hi, Kate. How are you? My cats are crazy, man. She's trying to come up the back of my chair. I'm doing good. It definitely feels like Monday. Even though I know it's Tuesday, it feels like Monday. My kids had off school yesterday because it was the end of the quarter. So it was like a whole restart. Jeez. This child of mine, this little baby of mine. What? You want to come up? Wow. You want to say hi? I know Maddie's usually in here, but she might be working now. Let me share this out to a couple of people. See if anybody wants to come in. I do not do free yes nos in the morning. That's in my evening streams. This is just all we usually talk about manifestation, and we're talking about You Are a Badass this morning. It's a book from Jen Sincero. It's a great book. It helps people shift out of this victim mentality and lets you no, that's okay. You didn't know. It's all right. Just letting you know. You're welcome to stay. You can come back later and ask questions. That's fine. But yeah, my morning streams are all about like kind of learn how to manifest and also kind of getting out of that negative mindset. So that's what we do here. I don't know, I feel like I'm like a professor. I'm like, I don't have the qualifications to teach something like this, but we're going to have fun with this. We're just trying to learn together. And, grow together. You need to hear this. Yeah. When I'm in here, oh, thank you. Thank you, Miss Just Right. I appreciate you. So yeah, anybody who has like manifesting questions, I am more than happy to help answer them. So, but with the You Are a Badass, I just decided last week that if anybody wanted to kind of join in and learn together and read together, kind of like a book club, but because this is a good way to kind of introduce yourself into manifesting too, because she talks a lot about it without saying like, because I feel like a lot of people are like, that's a lot of power, or a lot of it seems bigger than me, and she explains how it's really not. Thoughts get in the way a lot, because we're so programmed to think a certain way. So it is changing the thoughts, but it's changing the the feelings, and understanding and taking back the power. It's more than just changing your thoughts. It's believing in them. And that's where a lot of people get tripped up, that it's possible. Yeah. Yeah, I get the negative. Everybody does it. Even the master manifestors that have been doing this, who have been aware of this for, decades, they still get tripped up with negative thoughts. They can acknowledge it fast though, and they can flip it. So, hang on. Hello, Miriam. How are you? Well, it's the whole thing about manifesting, especially when we're, just first learning about it, is I'm doing well. Is being aware. And that's the thing. A lot of us are stuck on autopilot. Um I'm not doing free yes nos right now, Miriam. That's in my evening stream. This is all about manifesting, and we're learning like in my morning lives we go over different books and different um I guess manifesting techniques, you could say. So this is for people who want to learn how to get what they want. So when they come in and ask those yes no questions, I teach them how to kind of shift into that. I do this on a private setting too. I do have coaching opportunities available. So but the biggest thing is, a lot of times we're on autopilot, right? We have a routine, and we get up, we brush our teeth, we get ready for work, we have our coffee, whatever it is. And you get so caught up in this in this routine, that you're not thinking, you're not aware, you're just on autopilot. So you're just moving through life, right, without being aware. So the first thing that you need to do for manifestation and learning how is to stop and be aware, right? So like taking time each day to just sit and understand what it is, like look around, what things are, what do you see, like just being in the present moment, right? Looking at different things. What do they mean to you? What are you feeling? You have to be in touch with your feelings. I know that sounds so silly, but you really need to understand what it is that you're feeling, and what it is that is causing those feelings, what's triggering them, good, bad, or indifferent, right? That's the number one thing, is to just be still and be aware. Um, so I mean, that's it. It doesn't sound all magical and everything like that. I get that, but it is really the biggest thing for you, is to be aware of your body, be aware of your feelings, be aware of your just what you're thinking, what's going through your head. A lot of the times we have these inner conversations because we're preparing to talk to somebody later, and we're preparing, and you know, we have an idea of what they're going to say, so we're mentally preparing for what we're going to say. And a lot of the times it is negative, right? So we're manifesting all of this negative stuff to happen, and we're not even aware of it. Awareness is the number one practice. Yeah, exactly. And everybody does. And this is where when you can notice it and you can start to change it, you're going to see changes within your life. There's the main guru, I guess you would call it, that I've learned a lot from is Neville Goddard. Now, he's no longer on this earthly planet. Um you've been 444 everywhere. Thank you. Thank you for the gifts. I'm not answering yes no questions right now. That's in my evening stream. This is all about manifesting and trying to shift out of, the negative and into your power, basically. But you're welcome, honey. But with Neville Goddard, he talks a lot about this. That's who I study, and he actually shares a story, and you can look this up on YouTube. There's many videos about this, about how a girl had, and it's just type in inner conversations, and it'll come up. She was mentally preparing all the time. She was having these inner conversations with her boss, and they were always negative, right? She always dreaded going to work. She always dreaded, crossing her boss, right? So she changed the inner conversations, and by doing that, she was able to actually have a pleasant conversation with him, and things shifted within work, because you need to be aware, again, what are those inner conversations that you're discussing with yourself, mentally preparing for somebody else. You're putting those into play. You're putting that out to the universe. Okay, if you want to call it that, putting out the source, all of that, right? And then you're pulling it in, and then we're wondering why everything is so chaotic. Good morning, Caroline. How are you, baby? So if you can start being aware of those inner conversations that you are having, right? And if you can change them, and this takes practice sometimes it doesn't. Everybody is different. Okay? If it takes you 10 times, that's okay. Right? It's being consistent and being, and being, persistent. Because sometimes this happens right away. Other things will take you a little bit longer. It's not hard. It's not hard work at all. Why are you sad? Yeah, we have to change the narrative. The narrative is very important to change. That narrative, especially in our head. We have monologues in our head a lot too. Hi, Mel. How are you? So, like, that's why I suggest a lot of people to get You Are a Badass, because she talks about this without saying, like, manifesting and going, like, Neville Goddard can be a little overwhelming for some. But if you can understand him, and there are plenty of mentors out there that teach about Neville Goddard, but it can be overwhelming trying to understand it on your own. So I always get to help people do what they want and watch people so they want, but I don't get to. I'm not reading. This is just discussion. We're talking about manifesting. We're talking about You Are a Badass, that type of thing. It's not a reading. But in that same sense, just like we're talking about, Caroline, too, that's a story you're telling yourself. That's the narrative you're telling yourself. You get to help people do what they want, but when it's your turn, nobody helps you. You don't get to do what you want because you're so busy helping other people get what they want. So that's where and sometimes that's where we have to put our boundaries down and say, you know what, I would love to help you right now, but there's things I have to focus on. Hi, Morgan. That's the thing. We have to notice that we're giving our energy to others, right? And not that it's a bad thing or that they're abusing it, but sometimes we have to take our power back. Sometimes we have to put our boundaries down and say, you know what, I'll support you as much as I can, but right now there's things that I need to focus on. Okay? Does it feel selfish at first? Yes. But after a while, you start to realize you're protecting your energy. You're protecting, yourself. And you're protecting that inner strength. And it's important, right? Because what it is that to me feels like people pleasing, right? We're there to help them get what they want. We're always, we're pushing ourselves. We're really pushing it to help them out, right? To help them get what they want. But they're not taking the time to help us. And it's not really their fault. You know what I mean? Like, and yes, people take advantage. Don't get me wrong there. But we're willingly giving them our energy. We're willingly giving them our time. Okay? And they just asked for it, or maybe they didn't, and we just offered it, and they're just taking it. Okay? So that's why we have to take the power back, and we have to put boundaries up, right? And we can't be afraid to ask for help either, right? Especially if you've helped others. There's no reason why you can't ask for that in return. And if they don't give it to you, or, just take note, okay? Because sometimes these people are energy drainers, and they're not, I don't want to say they're not for us completely, but there's things that we have to focus on, and those who are there for us will be there for us, and who aren't will fade away for a while until they're ready to be at our level. We have to take our power back. We have to be the strong. Like, nobody's going to do anything for us. Okay? We can only do for ourselves. At the end of the day, that's all we have is ourselves. And that's not to say that you can't still have a beautiful relationship. Absolutely. Right? But at the end of the day, the only person who's going to get you what you want is you. There are helpers that come along, but it has to be what you want and you moving towards it. I'm just tired of finding people, and they're always the ones that have to fade away. Again, another story. I haven't found anyone that's supposed to stay. That's not true. That's not true. That's a story, but it's still not true. You have people in your life who want to be a part of it. Hello, Emmanuel. Hi, Alex. You have a group of women who are here for you, but I know what you mean, right? But right there, that's a victim mentality. I would shift that. You can use affirmations for that if you like. But at the end of the day, it's knowing that those who are around you genuinely love and support you, right? And they never leave. Where right now, the story you're telling, the affirmation that you keep putting out there, you just said it. I find people, and they're always the ones that have to fade away. They always leave. You're always abandoned, right? That's a fear of abandonment. It's understandable. I'm not denying that. Because, I mean, we have these limiting beliefs because of the experiences we have in our life, right? But this is where we get to shift it. Not everyone is going to abandon you. Not everyone is going to leave you behind. Not everyone is going to make you feel worthless, right? But you're focused on the ones that do, and you're reiterating that. Does that make sense? Alex. Good morning, Alex. With your little watchy eyes. Thanks for sharing the live, Morgan. So, I mean, I don't know if you have anything else to add to that, Caroline. I'm here for it. You know it. I'm here to help you. Um, the biggest thing is we have to shift out of that negative. And I know you're in the Facebook group. I just posted a video for our day one for the Grateful Challenge to help shift out of that negative mindset and into that blessed mindset, right? That's what we're working on this month, as with every November, just because it's, Thanksgiving and all of that. So we work on that. That's one thing to help. They're journal prompts. Some of the questions that come on later in the month are really in depth, but it it's definitely something that's going to help you, because the victim mentality is strong. I too, and I still can get sucked into a victim mentality. That's when I stop being aware and I stop being present. I easily fall into a victim mentality because it's easy. It's how I live most of my life. And it at first it was really difficult. It was really difficult to see things differently and not take responsibility. And what I mean by that is there are people that we shouldn't keep in our lives. There are things we shouldn't do. There are things we shouldn't accept, right? There are boundaries we need to place. But sometimes we don't put those boundaries up because we feel that that's not fair, that, they won't appreciate us or respect us. Well, if they don't, then they aren't for you, right? So, I mean, that's pretty brutal, but you needed to see this live. Well, I'm glad you're here. So, I mean, I was definitely supposed to be. I think we all kind of need to hear this. We all need to be reminded of it, because even though we may think we're doing great and we're manifesting and things are going good, it sneaks in. It can sneak in when we're not paying attention, right? It's easy to go back to, oh, well, this is happening to me. They're doing this to me. At the end of the day, it's our choice. It's some way. And if we can take on that responsibility and accept that, that's us owning our power too, right? We're not giving our power away and becoming a victim. We're taking our power back and we're standing in it. And we can create from that. The universe bringing us to your message. I love it. Thank you for the follow. It's just, even within the past week, 2 weeks, there's been days where I'm like, why is this happening to me? Why? Right? Shitty stuff happening, things not going my way, right? But I can guarantee you I can backtrack it to a decision I made that put it in motion. A manifestation, if you will, without me paying attention, me running on autopilot. Good morning, Lindsay. So do I need to do that? No, I need to focus on what I want, not what I don't want. Hey, Rachel, be present with a shit ton of coffee. Yes, I got mine. My daughter bought it for me for Christmas, and it says, "Of course, size matters. No one wants a small cup of coffee." Damn straight. Good morning. So, I mean, that's number one when it comes to any type of manifesting, is being aware. Being aware being in the present moment and understanding what it is that you're thinking and you're feeling and you're processing and you're imagining. We're constantly imagining, and that's where manifestation comes from. It's all imagination. It starts with imagination. That's your power. And think about that. We were always told to stop. Your imagination's too big. Stop. That's where it all starts. Think about it. Think about the things that you did as a kid before people told you that that wasn't realistic. We did some pretty crazy stuff. We got a lot of things in for us. Now, again, that works both ways. Good, bad, and indifferent. But everything starts with imagination. You have to be aware of what you're imagining, what you're thinking, and what you're feeling. You can imagine great things, but if you can't believe that they're possible, it won't happen. It just won't. But I just had a similar conversation with my kids. They have been seeing a lot, and I feel that it's the TikTok. Let us write paragraphs. Their subconscious projecting. Yes, that is possible. Yeah, that's mostly what is going on. We're always projecting out. Everyone is our mirror. Everything, like everything. And everyone is you pushed out, right? Everything. So when you really are seeing a lot of negative things, it's time to really look within and say, okay, what about that situation am I feeling into? Is it something within me, or is it something I feel about others? Right? Yeah, exactly. 90% of what we see comes from our subconscious. It comes from our actually, that's so funny, because that's actually like within in Alex, if you're still in here, I know you know it, like within this first chapter, it actually says my subconscious made me do it, right? And the first quote says, you are a victim of the rules you live by. Okay? The rules, the limiting beliefs, the things that you believe, right? That's what you see. That's what you feel into, right? And our subconscious is always working, where our conscious mind works, while we're awake. What? Turkey call? I just broke a flock of turkeys up. I don't know. Might be in the bedroom. So, let me open this up actually. Because there was something exactly about the conscious mind that, when you just said that, made me think about it. The notes I have on this, too, is, I wrote, who's afraid of confrontation? You are a badass, Lindsay. You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. I got this off Thrift Books. It was, I don't know, a couple bucks. And it says, who will avoid it because you don't want to embarrass someone else? Think about that. Like, how many times have you not said something to somebody because you didn't want to embarrass them? Right? You didn't want to tell them you didn't want something because you didn't want to embarrass them because they were doing something. She explains about trying to purchase a mattress, and the salesman kind of made her feel uncomfortable, but she didn't want to say anything, so she just left, and she didn't buy a mattress that she desperately needed because she didn't want to embarrass him and tell him to get off the bed. You're welcome. The other thing I wrote too is that is people pleasing. I just shared about this, and I probably need this book. This book is amazing. It is really amazing. And after this one, Alex actually had an extra copy of this that we'll be getting into after, and it's You Are a Badass Making Money. So I'm gonna keep moving with that. I like her. I like the way she writes. You will too, because it's very much our level, Lindsay. It's very straight to the point. It's very, like the way she talks is the way we talk. And I enjoy it. Hey Laura, how are you? In this, like I've highlighted so much. I'm such a highlighter. The other thing I put down was most people are living in an illusion based on someone else's belief, and that's our subconscious. That's our subconscious working, because that's what we were told. That's what we believe. Coffee and Lily. Aw, I hope she feels better. Oh, I saw that book that you got. Love you. Fucking my home. Sorry, guys. He's going to get some turkey. Apparently. And I'm just going to kind of read some of this stuff. You guys chime in. We'll take the conversation. I don't know how we're going to do this. Like I said, I'm not a professor or anything. I'm just sharing the things I've learned along the way with this book as we read. My Instagram is actually in my profile. It's a mindset we were programmed with from the time we were born. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. So I wrote, who grew up under children should only be seen and not heard. I know I was. Right? We weren't allowed to talk, or if we did, like we had to ask permission to speak. We were always told, go in the other room and go play. We don't want to hear you. Just go, right? Yeah, the other thing. Who was home during the day? I was shipped out. The moment I woke up, I could have breakfast, but then I had to leave the house. I didn't come home until till dinner, and then I was shipped back out until the streetlights came on. My parents didn't want me in the house. They didn't, me and my two older brothers, all the other kids in our neighborhood. Like, I look back, and we were running around the city of Pittsburgh unsupervised all the time. Okay, Lindsay, I get it. I got you. I understand. And like, our parents they had an idea of where we were. We had to tell them, oh, hey, we're going to the pool. Oh, hey, we're going to the basketball courts. Right? But at the end of the day, they really had no clue where we were. Right? We went, did our thing. We come home, and I laugh because, I remember those little news flashes at it's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children are? Why don't you know where your children are? Yes, exactly, Caroline. Me too. Like, it was just like women and children were just to be seen and not heard. The men did the talking, and the children, if they were making noise, had to be in a different room. They had their playrooms or they were outside. Like, they were never... I know, Morgan. Same. I don't know how. I think about that. Like, and I live in a small town right now. But I'm just I need to know where my kids are at all times. Are you doing PL or wholesale? Or Amazon? What do you mean? I'm not doing free yes no's in the morning. That's only on my evening stream. Oh my goodness. Yeah, the free yes no's are in my my evening streams. I don't do them in the morning. And just so you guys know, just because my TikTok is being crazy. Today is November 1st, right? This is a stream about manifestation, and we're talking about You Are a Badass. Just in case anybody is trying to, take this information and repost it somewhere. This is only available at the Loving Rebel. I'm not doing anything on Amazon. At all. Although, feel free to send me information. It might be something I'm interested in. But I'm not doing anything on Amazon. I don't sell anything on Amazon. I don't do any of that. So, and this goes with kind of what Lindsay was saying about the subconscious. The magic blanket. If you look it up, the magic blanket, I'm sorry. I forgot about that. I forget about that a lot. If you look up the magic blanket and then you look up Marci Lynn Drukenbrod, you'll find it's in there that way. So, yeah. I need to put that. I need to put that on my link tree. So, hang on. I'll type my name down. It'll come up that way. But I just self-published through that. It's a small book. Very small book. I'm going to read this portion about the conscious mind and the subconscious mind to kind of give a little bit of clarity on that. So, like I said, most people are living in an illusion based on someone else's beliefs, right? And it says, until they wake up, which is what this book will hopefully help you do. Here's how it works. We as humans have a conscious mind and a subconscious mind. Most of us are aware of our conscious minds. However, because that's where we process all of our information, where we figure things out, judge others, obsess, analyze, criticize, worry that our ears are too big, decide once and for all to stop eating fried food, grasp that 2 + 2 = 4, try to remember where the hell we left the car keys, etc. The conscious mind is like a relentless overachiever. I would say I'm a mindset and manifestation mentor at this point. I do write and I do speak. That is something I'm working towards. I like to help people get better lives and do it themselves and see their power. So, all right. So the conscious mind is like a relentless overachiever, incessantly spinning around from thought to thought, stopping only when we sleep, and then starting up again the second we open our eyes. Yeah, that's Rory. I am an American citizen, born and raised, natural. Our conscious mind, otherwise known as our frontal lobe, doesn't fully develop until sometime around puberty. And I think I've read the prefrontal lobe doesn't fully develop until 25. Our subconscious mind, on the other hand, is the non-analytical part of our brain that's fully developed the moment we arrive here on Earth. It's all about feelings and instincts and erupting into ear-piercing temper tantrums in the middle of supermarkets. It's also where we store all the early outside information we get. The subconscious mind believes everything. It has no filter. It doesn't know the difference between what's true and what's not true. And we discuss this when we talk about manifestation. I tell people, I'm like, I don't care if you have to say things sarcastically. You can sit there and say, heck yeah, I have the best boyfriend ever. I have the best husband ever. I have the best job ever. You can be so sarcastic, but you're putting that out there. Our subconscious has no filter. It doesn't know, that you're not, you know, that you actually are thinking the opposite, but it does know your feelings. I'm married. Happily married, thank you. Alright, so the subconscious mind believes everything because it has no filter. It does not know the difference between what's true and what's not true. If our parents tell us that nobody in our family knows how to make money, we believe them. If they show us that marriage means punching each other in the face, we believe them. We believe them when they tell us that some fat guy in a red suit is going to climb down the chimney and bring us presents. Why wouldn't we believe any of the other garbage they feed us? Our subconscious mind is like a little kid who doesn't know any better and, not coincidentally, receives most of its information when we're little kids and don't know any better because our frontal lobes, the conscious part of our brains, hasn't fully formed yet. Thank you. Thanks for the hi, November. We take in information via the words, smiles, frowns, heavy sighs, raised eyebrows, tears, laughter, etc. of the people surrounding us with the zero ability to filter any of it. And it all gets lodged in our squishy little subconscious minds as the truth, otherwise known as our beliefs, where it lives undisturbed and unanalyzed until we're on the therapy couch decades later or checking ourselves into rehab again. I can pretty much guarantee that every time you tearfully ask yourself the question, what the fuck is my problem? The answer lies in some lame, limiting, and false subconscious belief that you've been dragging around without even realizing it. Which means that understanding this is majorly important. So let's review it, shall we? Our subconscious mind contains the blueprint of our lives. It's running the show based on the unfiltered information it gathered when we were kids, otherwise known as our beliefs. We are, for the most part, completely oblivious to these subconscious beliefs that run our lives. When our conscious minds finally develop and show up for work, no matter how big and small and hyphaultin they grow to be, they're still being controlled by the beliefs we're carrying around in our subconscious mind. Our conscious mind thinks it's in control, but it isn't. Our subconscious mind doesn't think about anything, but is in control. That is why so many of us stumble through life doing everything we know in our conscious mind to do, yet remain mystified by what's keeping us from creating the excellent lives that we want. For example, let's say you were raised by a father who was constantly struggling financially, who walked around kicking the furniture and grumbling about how money doesn't grow on trees, and who neglected you because he was always off trying and for the most part failing to make a living. Your subconscious took this in at face value and might have developed beliefs such as money is a struggle, money is unavailable, it's money's fault that I was abandoned by my father, money sucks and causes pain. How many of you guys have heard that? Money doesn't grow on trees. Like, money's evil, right? Money is the root of all evil. How many times have you heard that? I know, this feels like my life. When I read this, I was like, holy shit. Like, my mom, bless her heart, may she rest in peace, she was the budget queen, right? We never wanted for much, right? We had everything we needed, but I constantly heard, no, we can't afford that. No, we can't afford that. Money doesn't grow on trees, Marci. How do you think, like, I was telling my daughter this, when it came time for me to think about college, I never once applied to a college because I was afraid to ask my parents for the application fee. I was afraid to ask for an application fee, which was like $35, right? And I didn't go to college until I lived on my own, and I went to a community college. My parents did help me. They helped pay for, I think, half of a semester, right? But for the most part, I did it all. I got the loans and everything like that. And like my parents didn't know anything about grants and FAFSA or anything like that. They just told me, no, if you want to go to college, you're going to have to go to the military. This girl was not going to the military. So, I mean, money was always a factor in my household. Always. So, continuing on, it says, cut to you as an adult who, in your conscious mind, would love nothing more than to be raking in the dough, but who is subconsciously mistrusting of money, believes it's unavailable to you, and who worries that if you make it, you'll be abandoned by someone you love. You may then manifest these subconscious beliefs by staying broke, no matter how hard you consciously try to make money, or by repeatedly making tons of money and then losing it in order to avoid being abandoned, or in a plethora of other frustrating ways, right? How many times have you said, oh yeah, I got, you know, I got a windfall, right? Maybe you won, you know, $50 on a lottery ticket, but you're like, but then I had to buy this because it broke, right? Or, you know, how many times do you say, oh, it's payday? Or, like, as I like to call it, transfer day. I get paid and it goes into other, you know, other bills. I have no money at the end of the day, right? Who lives paycheck to paycheck? I know so many people who do, right? Living paycheck to paycheck because they can't get ahead. Hey, Misty, how are you, baby? So, I mean, this all stems from what we were told as children. Money doesn't grow on trees. Unless you were born into money, you won't ever make it big. Or you have to be really talented, right? You have to be good at sports, or you have to be a movie star in order to make money, to be rich. You just have to accept that you'll always just be, you know, mediocre. You're so. How you feeling, baby? Good. We're just going over You Are a Badass. I'm going through the first chapter right now. We're just kind of reading and kind of discussing. So, oh, I'm sorry, honey. I'm sending you so much love and healing. So in the next word, they say, no matter what you say you want, it's coming. Yeah, I know. No matter what you say you want, if you got an underlying subconscious belief that it's going to cause you pain or isn't available to you, you either A, won't let yourself have it, or B, you'll let yourself have it, but you'll be real fucked up about it, and then you'll go off and lose it anyways. The universe does have better plans, yeah. I agree. There was a lesson within all of that. There really was. Painful one, but it's all there. So, I mean, how many times have you guys been like, oh, you know, I want this, and either they're like, yeah, but I'll never get it. Like, how many times have you told yourself, like, I want a brand new car, but you're like, oh, but I can't have it because I don't have good credit, I don't have a down payment, blah, 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 right? You keep giving yourself excuses on why you can't have it. Or, when you do get it, you have it for a little bit, and it gets totaled, right? And you're like, well, shit, there we go. Can't have nice things. How many times have you said that? This is why we can't have nice things. I know I've said that a lot. This is why we can't have nice things. Right? Because something happens. It's a story we're telling. It's a story we keep telling ourselves. Oh, when I get something nice, something always messes it up. I've said, right. And that's the thing. That's what I was talking about earlier, too. This is why being aware is the most important thing. Being aware of what you're thinking, what you're feeling, what you're saying. Right? Because it's just affirming what you're manifesting. I can have nice things. That's right. I can. I collect beautiful things. I have a beautiful life. I have beautiful things. I have, like, it doesn't have to, we need to stop what we're putting out there. We don't realize that by eating I love this. All right. We don't realize that by eating that fourth donut or by ignoring our intuition and marrying that guy who's an awful lot like your low down cheating daddy, that we're driven by our subconscious minds, not our conscious minds, right? And that when our subconscious beliefs are out of alignment with the things and experiences we want with our conscious minds and hearts, it creates confusing conflicts between what we're trying to create and what we're actually creating. It's like we're driving with one foot on the gas and one foot on the brake. Obviously, we all have awesome subconscious beliefs as well, but we're not talking about those right now. Hello, hello. How are you? So, and I laugh at that because I tell Justin all the time, I'm like, my God, you act just like my dad. Like you, and he's just like, don't say that. I'm like, you do. You act just like my father. Like, when you want something, you just go out and buy it without any consideration about anything. Like, my dad would be like, oh, I want a log splitter. So we went out and bought a log splitter. Do you know how many times that man used his log splitter? Like 3. I'm not doing readings right now, honey. This is just all, we're talking about manifesting. We're talking about you are a badass. So I'm doing little readings from that. My friend always says what we think, see, hear, say, feel, and we speak, we create. Yes, absolutely. And I think that's what she's trying to show too. And I discuss this a lot too. You can say whatever you want to say, but if you don't believe it, it's not going to come true, right? So, like, I use the example. I can sit here and I can say, I'm a millionaire, I'm a millionaire, I'm a millionaire. Like, affirmation. I can affirm. But if my ass is feeling like a broke ass bitch, guess what I am? I'm a broke ass bitch, right? But I'm not. But you know what I mean? Like, that's the difference. We can speak things and we can say things, but it truly comes down to what we believe. And that's where the shift needs to happen. That's where it all needs to change. So, here are some other scenarios that may or may not ring a bell. You'll love this. Conscious mind. I long to find and marry my soulmate. Subconscious mind. Intimacy leads to pain and suffering. Finger, ringless. Conscious mind. I want to lose 25 pounds. Subconscious mind. People aren't safe. I must build a shield to protect myself. Body, a fortress of flab. Right? Makes sense. When we feel we need to protect ourselves, we do. We will put on extra weight, right? Because we don't want to be attractive. We want to, our subconscious, like, no, if we're too pretty. Like, think about that. I know there's a lot of SA victims in here. I am one of them, right? Think about that. We don't feel safe. So we'll either put on weight or we'll hide ourselves behind baggy clothes so people can't see what we, it's a protection thing. It's a subconscious protection, right? So it's all there. It all makes sense. This makes sense. Conscious mind. I'm hot and sexy. I want to get it on. Subconscious mind. Physical pleasure is shameful. Sex life, yawn. Right? I grew up in the church. Sex was bad. You didn't talk about that. You didn't think about that. Right? Conscious mind. I want to travel the world. Subconscious mind. Fun equals irresponsibility. Irresponsible equals I won't be loved. Passport blank. Right? Another one. That's not... It's like fun and responsible cannot go. They cannot coincide. Either you're going to be that person who does everything right. You have your house, you have your car, you have your kids. You don't do anything, right? There's no fun to be had. Either you're a responsible parent or you're that fun parent that has no responsibility. Like they can't coexist. They can, but it never seems, when you look at things, that it can't. It's sort of like not being able to enjoy sitting on your front porch anymore because it totally reeks of something foul out there. You can come up with all these brilliant ways to deal with the problem. Light incense, set up fans, blame it on the dog, but until you realize that something has crawled under your house and died, your problems will linger on, stinking up your life. The first key to ridding yourself of limiting subconscious beliefs is to become aware of them. Because until you are aware of what's really going on, you'll keep working with your conscious mind, think you need to paint the porch to solve a problem that's buried far beneath it, a dead skunk removal, in your subconscious, which is an exercise in futility. Take a minute to look at some of these less than impressive areas of your life and think about the underlying beliefs that could have created them. Let's take the old crowd pleaser, lack of money, for example. Are you making far less money than you know you're capable of earning? Have you reached a certain income level that no matter what you do, you can't seem to go above? Does generating an abundance of money consistently seem like something you're not even physically capable of? If so, write down the first 5 things that come to your mind when you think about money. Is your list full of hope and bravado, or fear and loathing? What are your parents' beliefs about your money? What are the beliefs of the other people you grew up around? What was their relationship with money like? Do you see any connection between their money beliefs and yours? Later on in this book, I'm going to give you tools to go much deeper with your subconscious beliefs and fix whatever's blocking you from living the kind of life you'd love to live. But for now, practice stepping aside, notice what's happening in the dysfunctional area of your life, and strengthen your almighty awareness muscle. Start waking up to the stories you're working with in your subconscious. I'll have to do things I hate in order to make money. I feel trapped if I get into an intimate relationship. Or if I go on a diet, I'll never eat anything fun again. If I enjoy sex, I'll burn in hell with the rest of the dirty sinners, etc. Yeah, because once you see what's really going on, you can start to drag out the stinky carcasses of your limiting subconscious beliefs and give them the heave-ho, thereby opening up the space to invite the fresh, new, awesome beliefs and experiences that you'd love to have in your life. So that's the first chapter about the subconscious made me do it. So I wrote down a couple examples of some limiting beliefs, right, that we all kind of have. The world is a dangerous place. Hey, Whiskey, how are you? How many times have you heard that? The world is a dangerous place. We have to be protective. We as women have to be protective. Like, I get it. There's so much out there. There's so many facts to substantiate that. But how many times have you kept yourself from doing something because you're afraid, because you could be put into a dangerous situation? Right? How many times have we done that? I know I've done that so many times. I really want to go to this concert, but my husband can't go with me, so I don't know that I want to go because I could be a target. Right? I could become a victim. Hello, Judah. How are you? Another one. Money doesn't grow on trees. Money is inaccessible. I can't just go pick up money. I can't just have money. I have to work hard for my money. Right? My dad was a hard worker. Didn't make a whole lot of money, but he worked hard. He was proud of that too, in a way. I'm such a hard worker. I work hard. Right? But he didn't make a whole lot. Right? He made enough. And sometimes we were really short. Right? But hard working doesn't always equal success. I mean, I'm not saying that you shouldn't work hard, right? But just because you work hard doesn't equal money. Oh, we're talking about victim mentalities. We're talking about manifestation. We're going through the book, You Are a Badass. We just did the first chapter. So we're kind of like going over some things, dealing with that. I've been on for about an hour, so. Um, Another one, size matters. See? Of course size matters. Nobody wants a small cup of coffee. Size matters. But in the grand scheme of things, like, doesn't always apply, right? You must go to college to be successful. I know in my day, that's what I was told. You must go to college. You have to go get a degree. You have to. It's imperative. It's the only way you're gonna succeed in life. Right? These are limiting beliefs. These are things that we were told, is what I'm saying. Things we were told that aren't true. But because we were told them as children, that, or as younger people, we believe them. I don't agree with I don't agree with that at all. I've even told my daughter, I was like, listen, and my daughter, as of right now, is valedictorian of her senior class. So, and I told her, I said, you don't need to go to college. If you want to go to college, by all means, right? But I'm not saying you have to go to college. You can go to a trade school. You can go work. What is it that you want to do? You know, it's not something you have to do, but that's what I was told growing up. You have to go to college. You have to go get your degree and then your master's and blah 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 blah. You know what that did for our generation? Put us hundreds of $1,000s in debt. To clarify, I have no issues. This was just no, I know, it's okay. I'm open to a conversation. Please don't feel like you can't speak. Or you can't disagree with me. You absolutely can. I'm open. I have an open mind. I'm a Libra, so I can see both sides of every argument. Trust me. It's gotten me stuck in most of my life. That's why I'm indecisive. I do. I do. I love to learn. I love to grow. I tell my kids all the time they don't need college, but their dad keeps saying they do. Yeah. Luckily, my husband, he didn't go to college, and he's a carpenter, a contractor. So like he knows he didn't go to college, and he can make really good money. Um we know you don't have to, right? We're seeing this. So I've always made it clear to both of my children, you don't have to go to college. If you want to do something in life that requires college, then by all means. But I'm not forcing you to go to 4 years of college if it's not something that you want to do. Good morning, redneck woman. Thank you, Judah. Yep, I agree. When things are bad, it's okay to feel it. It's okay to grieve. It's okay to be mad, to be upset, as long as you don't unpack and live there. I agree. I agree. You don't have to be rose-colored glasses in order to live a beautiful life all the time. You don't have to. It's okay to feel the negative feelings. You have to. You have to process them. You have to release them, right? You can't just push them down and say, "Oh no, I'm happy." No. You're experiencing them for a reason, and you have to process them. You just don't live there. If we fall into the, thank you for the follow. If we fall into, well, great, life just sucks right now because of this, and it's never going to get better. Guess what? It won't until you're ready to step out of that mindset. I agree. Yeah, it's okay to not be okay. Absolutely. Yeah. But there's, I also believe that we can't tell people a time limit as well. Um, there's grieving to happen. There's pain to process, right? And I don't want to push somebody out of the process they need either. So, but you can tell a difference between a person who is unpacking and living in that negativity and the person who is processing. We didn't come to figure these things out, but rather we had it passed down and burned in our brains. Many people are living in an illusion based on someone else's belief until they wake up. So, like, I even put this, like, conscious mind is that over-analytical, the criticizing, the worry, the judging. And the subconscious mind is the non-analytical. It's fully developed. It's our feelings. It's our instinct. It's stored since an early age, right? So I had wrote this question down, and maybe you guys can kind of help me. I wrote, is the conscious mind the masculine and the subconscious mind the feminine, those who are on that spiritual journey? Like, is that what we're looking at? The conscious mind is the doer, right? The masculine is the doer, right? Is the subconscious mind the instinct, the feminine side? Like right now, I'm in a bad spot because I found something I don't like with what he's doing. What do we do with that? What do we do with that, Whiskey? Don't make it about him. Were you seeking something because you were afraid of something? Your fear is coming forward. Yeah. Yeah. Insecurity, fear, all came forward. And guess what? You manifested finding something you don't like. Because that's what you've always done. Right? It's exactly what we were talking about. We were just talking about that. Sorry, somebody was trying to call me. Yeah, we've all been there, done that. We've all been there, done that. I've been there, done that recently too. Right? Fear and insecurities come up and it makes us search, makes us look for something to confirm that fear. And because that's what we're imagining, and that's exactly what we get. So, in that instance, one thing to do is acknowledge that you were fearful. You were imagining that you were going to find something that confirmed that fear, and then you did. Congratulations, you manifested. Appreciate that. Be aware of that and say, yay me. Because that's you manifesting. That's the power you have. Don't give it to him. Don't give it to anybody else. You manifested that and you confirmed it. Does it suck? Yes. But you did that. That's how powerful you are. Now take that energy and manifest something better. Because it's easy to believe. Fear is easy to believe. Fear is just easy to believe. It's easy to live into. It's a strong feeling. It's a strong emotion. It's strong. Where something good, again, depending on how you were raised, right? That's what we were just talking about, right? It's hard to switch out, but you have to be aware of it first. You have to be aware of it. And there you go. You're manifesting more of that, Whiskey. I'm so afraid he will continue it when we're back together. You're putting that out there, right? Acknowledge that. Okay, I am scared. Why am I scared? Why am I scared that he'll continue? You need to ask these questions. Why am I so scared? Be honest. You don't have to answer me. I'm just saying, just be honest. Because of the past. Okay. So, what exactly in the past happened that I'm afraid of repeating, right? And I know part of the answer, but you have to say, okay, so why do I think that happened? Why do I think that what happened in the past happened? You need to get deep into this limiting belief of yours. I honestly believe it was just because he can't help it or didn't think I was good enough to stop. You didn't think you were good enough. Ultimately, that's what it always comes down to. Not feeling good enough. Or feeling the fear of abandonment that they'll always leave. Because maybe that's what's shown up your whole life. People either telling you you're not good enough for that, or that they leave you, or, you're left behind. That's where we start. That's where a lot of it comes from. You are good enough. Okay, yes, those are affirmations. That's an affirmation to start. Look yourself in the eye in the mirror and start telling yourself, I am good enough. I am good enough. I am good enough, right? I am worthy. I do deserve this. I do deserve to be loved, right? That kind of starts to help you move, okay? And it's going to be uncomfortable. It is going to be uncomfortable because it's going to say, no, you're not. You're not good enough because this happened. Well, I did that. Start taking power for that, right? Well, this person left me. Well, I did that. I manifested that. Take that power back. I don't care what really happened. If you can sit there and say, well, I manifested that. I made that. What I was thinking and feeling, I made that happen. That gives you more power and it takes away that victim mentality, right? If you can hone in on that power, you're going to see a shift. Yeah, so that's just part of it. Like, so when you're